Welcome everybody to a look at another new release from Eureka, and this one is from 1968 and it is Run Man Run, directed by Sergio Salima. And this is a director that did also Revolver and Violent City. But before this, he did two other Western kind of films, spaghetti Western kind of films, Face to Face and The Big Gun Down. Not seen either of those yet. I would have seen The Big Gun Down had it been released early December like it was planned to by Indicator, but for whatever reason it had been delayed, so unfortunately I didn't get to see that before this. But they're similar films because they have the same lead star, the same director, and I think maybe the Big Gun Down has the same character as in this. But regardless, this clock's in at 120 minutes long, so it's quite long for a spaghetti western that isn't, a Sergio Leone effort. But yeah, it stars Tomas Milian, who's been in an awful lot of films that I've seen, like Don't Torture a Duckling, Rome Armed to the Teeth, Silent Action, Brothers Till We Die, and Free Hand for a Tough Cop. Interesting that Milan and Salima went in the same kind of direction after westerns, went into the crime thrillers of from Italy of the 70s. Also stars Donald O'Brien, who was in The Name of the Rose, The Train, Grand Prix, and the original Inglourious Bastards, as well as John Ireland, who was in Spartacus, Gunfight at the OK Corral, both of which also starred Kirk Douglas, Raw Deal, I Saw What You Did, and 55 Days at Peking. Interesting that John Ireland went from traditional Western films to the more Italian spaghetti westerns, but yeah, that's really cool. And this is about Milan, who stars as Cuchillo, a knife-throwing thief on the run from murderous bandits, sadistic American agents, his hot-blooded fiancée, and a sheriff-turned-bounty hunter, all of whom are gunning for a hidden fortune in gold that could help finance the Mexican Revolution. So, this is a really, really good, really superb Western film. The cast are all excellent. The action scenes are really, really well done. Milan as Cuchillo is really rather different compared to a lot of other Western film leading stars because he's not a gunfighter. He doesn't use a gun at all in this film, in fact. And being a knife thrower makes him a little bit more of a silent killer, but he's also someone that's not wanting to get into fights. He's just, forced into getting into fights through other people's actions. So, plus also he wants to stand up for the Mexican Revolution because being Mexican himself, and he sees the wrongs that are being done to his country, and he wants to right those wrongs. So, he's really good in the lead role. John Ireland and Donald O'Brien are really good as well. It looks great. The cinematography is really on point. I like the locales. Ennio Morricone also had an uncredited role on the score. He couldn't be credited because he was working for Universal at the time and he was under contract that he couldn't work for any other studio at the time. So the person that usually composed his scores is the credited composer, but he technically wrote that score. So and it sounds fantastic. The action scenes are really well done, and it's engrossing throughout. Even though it sounds like like it's going to be rather convoluted with all of these characters all chasing after the same thing. It's really well written to the point where you're not confused about who's doing what and why. It's just really rather concise in its execution. So, glorious film, and really surprised me about how much I enjoyed it, because some of these, kind of spaghetti westerns, they sort of feel like they're influenced by Leone, but this seems to have its own kind of identity in a lot of ways. So, excellent film and an excellent release, because you get two discs. You get the uncut version and you get the theatrical version. The uncut version is really rather quite bloody. There's far more blood there than you'd normally expect from a western from the 60s. Only I think the Wild Bunch would be able to give it a run for its money. You also get a poster as well. Not the thickest paper because it's got to fit in quite a small case. It's not like it's got a big hard box or anything to go around it. But yeah, so you get the new artwork there. And then I guess this is what could be considered the original artwork. You can get this original artwork on the cover sleeve as well, so you can swap and choose whichever one way you want. And you get a booklet as well. So to go along with the slip cover as well to go with that. So the booklet has the cast and the crew. And you get shots from the film. So this is quite an anarchic film as well. It's trying to be political in a way, but not in an overly overbearing kind of way. So you got Born in a Wind of Knives. Sergio Salima's Run by Howard Hughes, which yeah, looks interesting enough. It's quite a long one actually. Got supporting locations and the like, and then shooting locations that are all detailed. The final cuts. And you've got another posters that go with that. Yeah, this is quite detailed. It's got French interventions. Apparently the French try to get in right. Bangs for your bucks. Which I guess is referencing the Few Dollars trilogy. So yeah, and yeah, it's been given a really rather nice 2K restoration as well from no 4K restoration even from the 1080p presentation on Blu-ray, and yeah, with additional color grading completed exclusively for this release. So yeah, the theatrical cut is quite a lot shorter than this. It's 85 minutes long, which yeah, that's a good 35 minutes cut from the film, and I really don't see how you could do that and still make a good film. So yeah, if you're going to watch this, go for the uncut extended version, because that is definitely the one to go for, because I really enjoyed it, and I really can't see how you could cut half an hour out of it and still keep it as great as it is. So yeah, once again, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this film, and if you've not seen it, then I do highly recommend it. Another 4.5-star film from Eureka, and yeah, hopefully they get to release the likes of Face to Face if Indicator aren't going to release that, because obviously they've got the big gun down coming out. So yeah, but regardless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.